I finished my January book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, and I thought I would talk to you about my thoughts and feelings on this book. To be honest, my favorite thing about it is how it's written. Like it's kind of written, like he talks to you about money in the best way. Like it doesn't make you shut off, and it's not at all giving Goldman Sachs finance bro. It's really not, and I love that so much because I don't know. I don't think I have the best, or I don't think I had the best relationship with money because I always felt like it's so elusive and like no one really taught me in, blah, blah, blah. And like I have dyscalculia, so I'm not really good at like managing money. And then Morgan was like, no, babe, those are your limiting beliefs. And I was like, Morgan, don't shout at me. I didn't need you to tell me exactly what my problem is. I didn't need that. Lead me when I want to be led.
It really shifted for me the idea of like rich and wealth, and if you don't grow up with a reference point in what wealth is, I think that's really something that you just don't understand, you know. And so him explaining it as the unseen and how it is about freedom and options and time, I really resonated with that, and I thought that's exactly what I'm trying to do with my life now, building longer term things and trying to design a life that feels good and not just look impressive. So I really, resonated. I think the other things were that so much of the book is basically about the psychology and like your money habits come from your childhood and what was modeled for you at that time. He really just asked you to question your own limiting beliefs and your own narratives around how you manage money, and I thought this is such a honest reflection, like an honest opportunity to reflect on your own habits, and it just made me also less judgmental of my past choices out of others. And yeah, I loved it, so I definitely think pick it up and read it, and hopefully, also become financially savvy with me.
It's so funny because I was making this whole series about, building your systems, blah, blah, and then the universe really was like, oh, babe, are you going to preach? Because if you're going to preach, then you have to practice. She really said, practice the way you're preaching. So one of the major things I learned while working on emergency preparedness, and I was working in a couple of emergencies, it just so happened to also be in Sri Lanka, and one of the biggest takeaways from working on emergency preparedness and emergency planning is that the plan is just as good as its ability to absorb shocks and unexpected events. And I was like, this is actually what I think is the most important thing about your system. Like, how well are you able to absorb something unexpected and something that's just going to throw you off? That is the quality of the plan, like not the plan itself. And I think this applies to life too, or at least that's how I see it now. I think that your real strength is not, how much you can withstand. I think it's how much you can withstand and bounce back into your alignment of what you actually want. And I have a couple of strategies that have been really working for me when I'm going through something that's hard. These are my bounce back strategies. So one is it's like doing a triage, I do the most important things first, which is taking care of my physical health, which is the thing that gets affected the most, I feel like. And so I do everything possible to take care of my physical health, and I do it from a very protector kind of energy. It's like, how can I help you? What do you need? Do you need to eat? Do you need to shower? All the basics. And then I lean into the allies, the support system that I have, touch wood. I don't even have to communicate to my friends, they just know, it's like they energetically know something's off. And so when things are hard, I have them on silent calls, or I go to their place and I just kind of disrupt this spiral in my head of whatever it is that I'm struggling with. It's I just surround it with lots of love and abundance and gratitude that is coming from my friends, which I'm so blessed that I always have. And then I use all the possible tools. I'll use chanting, I'll meditate, I'll journal, I'll go to therapy. I do a lot of sense making. Sometimes it's a bit compulsive. I try to find sense in whatever is happening. And when it becomes compulsive, I stop that. I think something that I can just share is that, sometimes bad things happen and there's just no sense to it. You can never find the answer of why did this happen or what in me attracted this. There's no answer there. So you just need to let it go and be like, okay, bad things happen, and we move. The thing that really helps me when I need to move is my boards. I know the direction of my life. I know what my life is gonna look like. That's what it looks like. My board, it's right there. So if something is not moving along in that direction with me, it's on me to give up the resistance, of this is the image in my head of how it's supposed to be and it's not that anymore. So I need to drop that. Okay, let go of that image in your head of how it's supposed to be because you don't know the how, but you know where, you know what, and it's just a matter of time. So yeah, and finally, just, you know, the house doesn't crumble because there's a gust of wind outside, and that's the key takeaway from this video, I guess. Like, your plan is just as good as your ability to absorb shocks.